Hello and welcome students. In the last video lecture, I had explained you question number 7, 8 and 9 that was based on sales book. Now in this video lecture, I am going to explain you question number 12, that is the combined sum in which we have to prepare all the 4 different types of goods subsidiary books, that is purchase book, purchase return book, sales book and sales return book. Okay. Together with the explanation of the sum, I will be explaining you the format or specimen of both the return book, that is purchase return and sales return. Okay, so let's start with question number 12 of your textbook, that is on page number 155. Let us read that question first of all. Prepare purchase book, sales book, purchase return book and sales return book in the books of EK stores from the following transactions. Okay, we have to prepare, already it has been mentioned in the question that we have to prepare all the 4 different types of goods subsidiary books, that is purchase, purchase return book, sales and sales return book. Okay, in the books of EK stores. Okay, so first of all I will be showing you the format of all the different types of purchase book. You are very much familiar with the format or specimen of purchase book and sales book. Only I will explain you at present that is of purchase return book and sales return book. Now in case of purchase return book, the specimen that would be first column, that would be of date, as that is of purchase and sales book that we are writing. The first column is of always of date. Next column, that is of name of trader or name of supplier, as that we were writing in the case of purchase book. We were writing name of trader or name of supplier. Same thing in case of purchase return book also, you have to write the name of trader or supplier. Next column, that is debit note number. Over here in case of purchase book, we were writing inward invoice number. In case of purchase return book, we have to write debit note number. Okay. Next one, that is LF number, same column as we are maintaining in purchase book and sales book. Last column is also same, that is of amount rupees. So there is no any change in the format of purchase return and sales return book. They are almost similar to purchase book and sales book. The only difference is that in case of inward invoice number, over here it will become debit note number, and in case of sales book we are writing outward invoice number, and in case of sales return book we have to write credit note number. Otherwise the specimen of all the 4 different goods subsidiary books remains the same. Again repeating, the only difference is that in case of purchase book we are writing inward invoice number. In case of sales book we are writing outward invoice number. So in case of purchase return book we have to write debit note number, and in case of sales return book we have to write credit note number. Otherwise the entire specimen of all the 4 goods subsidiary books remains the same. Okay, now after understanding the specimen, let us read all the transactions one by one and do the posting in the concerned goods subsidiary books. Okay, the first transaction, that is November 2015, first day. Purchase goods of rupees 30,000 from Ramuj at 10% trade discount, bill number 120. Now it is a transaction of credit only. It has been mentioned already, we discussed in the previous video lecture that only the credit transactions will be recorded in the goods subsidiary books. Now this is the transaction of purchase book. So we have to record this transaction in purchase book. Okay. So first of all, in the column of date, I have written 2015 November 1st. Name of the supplier or trader, that is Ramanuj account. Invoice number that is given to you 120 bill number, and amount rupees that I have written 27,000, that is 30,000 minus 10% trade discount, it would come to 3,000. So remaining amount that would be 27,000 after subtracting the trade discount. Okay. Next entry, that is 4th day. Purchase goods of 12,000 from Nirmi at 10% cash discount. Credit period 1 month, bill number 130. Now over here cash discount is given to you, but cash discount, students, it will be applied only and only when it is a cash transaction. Here this transaction is a credit transaction, so cash discount will not be applied over here. It is just for misguiding you. Okay, so this transaction will also be recorded in the purchase book. So you can see the second date I have written as 4th date. The name of the trader or supplier that is given to you, Nirmi's account. So Nirmi's account, invoice number, bill number that is given to you 130, and the amount of column that I have written as 12,000. There is no any trade discount, so as it is we have to write the amount in the column of amount, that is 12,000. Okay. Next one, that is 6th day. Sold goods of 15,000 to Suresh at 5% trade discount and 3% cash discount under bill number 350. Now over here we have sold the goods to the customer. So it will come in which book? That is sales book. Okay. So you can see in the sales book, the first entry that I have written in the date column, that is 2015 November 6th, the name of the customer. Now over here it would come name of customer because we are selling the goods to the customer. So here the name of the customer it would come, that is Suresh account outward invoice number, that is given to you 350. Okay, and amount that is given to you 15,000. On 15,000 you will subtract 5% rate discount, it would come to 750. So 15,000 minus 750, remaining amount that will write in the column of amount, that is 14,250. Okay. Now next transaction, that is 11th date, purchase goods of 10,000, cash memo number 58. Now over here, neither the name of the party or the name of the person from whom we had purchased the goods is given, nor it is clearly mentioned that it is paid in cash. But whenever the name of the trader from whom we have purchased the goods is not mentioned, this transaction is to be considered as a cash transaction and it will not be recorded in the goods subsidiary books. Okay, so 11th date transaction will not be recorded. Next, 15th date, Suresh returned goods of rupees 3,000, credit note number 27. Now to Suresh we have sold the goods. Now out of the goods sold to him, it is 14,250 goods we have sold. That you can see, that is 6 days we have written total amount 14,250. Out of that he has returned goods worth rupees 3,000 back to us. Okay, so it will be transaction of sales return. So you can see we have sold, now he is returning back, so it is sales return. So in the column of sales return book, first column, date column I have written as 15th date. Name of the customer, that would be Suresh account from whom we are getting the goods back. Credit note number that is also given to the question, that is 20, and amount that is given to you 3,000. Okay. Next one, after completing 15 transactions, 17th date. 40% goods returned to Nirmi and debit note number 17 cent. Okay. Now regarding Nirmi, the transaction that is of 4th date. Okay. Now purchase goods of rupees 12,000. See, we have written on 4th date in the purchase book, that is Nirmi's account, amount that we have returned 12,000. Now out of 12,000 he is returning back, she is returning back 40% goods to, we are returning 40% goods to Nirmi. Okay. Previously we had purchased the goods from Nirmi, now we are returning back the goods to Nirmi. So it will be a transaction of purchase return book. Okay. So here you can see the column of purchase return book. I have written the date, that is 17th November. Column of name of trader or supplier, that is Nirmi's account. Debit note number, that is also given to you, that is debit note number 17. So that I have written the column of debit note number 17. And amount that came to 4,800, because 12,000 total goods that we have sold to Nirmi. We have purchased the goods from Nirmi, that is of 12,000. From 12,000, 40% of 12,000, that would come to 4,800. 12 fours are 48. So 4,800. Previously we had purchased the goods from Nirmi. Now we are returning 40% of that goods back to Nirmi. So 40% of 12,000, it would come to 4,800. Okay. Completion of 17th date. Next one, 19th date. Purchased furniture of rupees 7,000 from Sri Saraswati Furniture Mart. Now this is a transaction related to asset purchase. So any of the asset related transaction will not be recorded in goods subsidiary books. So it will not be recorded in any of the 4 subsidiary books. Okay. Next one, 20th date. Purchase goods of 90,000 from auntie. Half of the amount paid immediately. Now over here we have purchased the goods from one of the trader, that is auntie, and half of the amount is paid immediately. But we have to consider this transaction fully as a credit transaction and it will be recorded in the purchase book. Okay. So here you can see the column of purchase in the book, that is purchase book are written in the column of date, that is 20. Name of the supplier trader, that is auntie's account, and amount that I have written, that is 90,000. It is mentioned to you only 90,000, there is no any trade discount. So as it is in the column of amount, I have written as 90,000. Okay. Next one, after completing 20th date, 21st date, all the goods purchased from auntie sold to Bala for rupees 1,08,000. Credit 1 month, trade discount 10%, bill number 360. So whatever the goods we have purchased from auntie, we are selling to Bala. So it will come in which book? That is sales book. Okay. So here you can see in sales book I have written 21st date. Bala's account, we have sold the goods to Bala, so name of customer that would come to Bala's account. Outward invoice number that is given to you 360, and amount column that is 1,08,000. From 1,08,000 will subtract 10% rate discount, it will come to 10,800. So 1,08,000 minus 10,800, remaining amount will be showing in the amount column, that is 97,200. Okay. Next one, 21st completed, 23rd day. Bala returned half of the goods which was sent to auntie. Now, whatever the goods we had purchased from auntie that we had sold to Bala. Now from Bala we are getting the goods back. We had sold the goods to Bala, from that we are getting the goods back, so it is the transaction of sales return. Okay. So first of all, in the book of sales return, I have written the transaction that is 23rd day. Okay. I have written the name of the customer, that is Bala's account. Now, how much worth of goods that we had sold to Bala, that you can see that is 97,200. Now, out of that 97,200, he is returning half of the goods. So 97,200 divided by 2 you will do, then you will get 48,600. Okay, so in the column of amount that I have written 48,600. Now one more important point in this transaction is that whatever the goods we have sold to Bala, he has returned back to us, and that goods which he has returned to us, that we are returning back to whom? That is auntie, from whom we had purchased. Okay, so from auntie we had purchased the goods worth rupees 90,000. So half of that goods we will be returning back to auntie, so it will be transaction of purchase return. Okay, so here you can see 23rd day I have written name of the trader, that is auntie's account, and half of 90,000 that will come to 45,000, because the goods which was of 45,000 that we had sold for rupees 48,600 to Bala. So we have got the goods worth rupees 48,600 back from Bala, but while returning to auntie we have to do half of the amount of what we have purchased, that is half of 90,000. So return back of the purchased goods, that will be of 45,000. Okay. Now 24th day, current placed an order for 30,000 at 10% trade discount for supply of goods. This transaction is a non-economic transaction, because here just an order is placed to supply the goods, still the goods has not been supplied. So this will not be recorded in the goods subsidiary books. Next one, 25th day. Goods sent to current as per order, rupees 500 added for carriage under bill number 365. Now we had supplied the goods to current, so it will come in which book? That is sales book. Okay. So in the column of sales book you can see I have written 25th day, current's account, bill number that is given to you 365, and amount column. See, in the amount column we have supplied the goods of rupees 30,000 at 10% trade discount. So 30,000 10% it would come to 3,000. So 30,000 minus 3,000 it would come to 27,000. Over here whatever the carriage that has been given to you, we will not add in the total of the goods sold to current, because here we are not separately preparing the goods subsidy book with a column of expenses. Okay, so here we will write only the net amount of goods, not adding the amount of carriage. Okay, so here we will write only 27,000. Next one, 26th day, cash purchase 60,000 and cash sales 20,000. These are both transactions of cash purchase and sales, cash transactions, so it will not be recorded in goods subsidiary books. Next one, 27. Return goods to Sweetie of rupees 10,000 which was purchased in October and sent debit note number on 20. It means this was the transaction of October. Now return goods to Sweetie. Previously we had purchased the goods from Sweetie. Now we are returning back the goods to Sweetie. So it will be transaction of purchase return. Okay. So in the column on the book of purchase return, you can see 27th date that I have written in the column of name of trader or supplier, that is Sweetie's account. Bill number, debit note number that is given to you 20, and amount that I have written, that is 10,000. It is just mentioned that 10,000 worth of goods have been returned back to Sweetie. So in the amount column that I have written 10,000. Okay. Last transaction, that is 30th day. Current returned half of the goods and proportionate amount of carriage was given credit. Okay. Now from current placed an order, we had supplied the goods to current. Now current is returning back that goods to us. So it is a transaction of sales return. Okay. So in the column of sales return, date column I have written 30th day. name of the customer, that is Karan's account. Now previously we had sold the goods to Karan worth rupees 27,000 after subtracting trade discount. Half of the goods he is returning back. So half of 27,000 it would come to 13,500. So in the column of amount I have written 13,500. Okay, we are not adding carriage over here also. So naturally we will not add the amount of carriage in this amount column at the time of sales return also. Okay, so that's the end of all the transactions of this sum. Now we'll do the total of each and every good subsidiary books. Okay, don't forget to do the total of each and every subsidiary book. Okay, now there are three transactions. Total amount of credit purchase that would come to 1,29,000. Next one, that is the total credit sales, that is the total of sales book, that is coming to 1,33,450. Next one, purchase return book, total credit purchase return, that would come to 59,800. Students, don't forget to write the word credit, because in this good subsidiary book only credit transactions will be recorded. So you have to compulsory write the word, that is credit purchase return, credit sales or credit sales return. Okay, so total credit purchase return, that is coming to 59,800. Last one, that is the total of sales return book, that is total credit sales return, it would come to 65,100. Okay, so this was the sum in which we had to prepare all the 4 good subsidiary books, but this was an example of simple good subsidiary books. Now next sum which I am going to explain you, that is question number 13 of the same exercise, that is related to columnar good subsidiary books with expense column and GST. So in this question you have to be utmost careful, because expense column also we have to add, and then afterwards we have to find the amount of GST also, and then find the total amount. So be careful while doing this sum. So let's start with question number 13. That is also on the same page, that is 155. Let us read that question. From following transactions, prepare subsidiary books along with expenses. It is clearly mentioned that you have to prepare columnar subsidiary book with expense column. In the books of Sri Sargent Traders of Surendranagar, prepare subsidiary books on the basis of total GST rate of 12%. Now Surendranagar, the trader is belonging to Surendranagar, so it is within the Gujarat state. Okay, so if it is within the Gujarat state, then 2 types of taxes will be applicable, that is CGST and SGST, 6% each. And if it is outside the state with any other state, then 12% IGST will be applicable. Okay, so this concept you are knowing it very well, that IGST that will be 12% and CGST and SGST that will be divided into 2 parts, that is 6%, total 12%. Okay. Now moving on, add applicable amount of GST, prepare subsidiary books. Now you have to prepare all the subsidiary books in this sum. Okay, so here you can see first of all the format of columnar purchase book, columnar purchase return book, columnar sales book, and last one, that is columnar sales return book. Okay, first one, seeing the format of columnar purchase book, that you already studied, because I have already explained you the format of columnar purchase book with expense column. Okay, same format, that is date, name of trader or supplier, inward invoice number, LF number, net amount. Over here there are 2 expenses, that is railway freight and wages, and 3 columns for 3 different GST, that is CGST, SGST, IGST, and total amount of all these columns. Okay, in the same way, next format is of columnar purchase return book. Over there also the format remains the same, only in place of inward invoice number, here it would come debit note number. Okay, next one, columnar sales book, that also format remains the same. So you can see in each and every subsidiary book I have not written the headings, because the headings remains the same, only the variation comes in this, that is in case of purchase book it would come inward invoice number, in case of sales book it would come outward invoice number, in case of purchase return book it would come debit note number, and in case of sales return book it would come credit note number. Otherwise the format of columnar good subsidiary books remains the same. Okay, now after understanding the specimen of the columnar good subsidiary books, let us read one by one all the transactions. First transaction, that is 2018 August 1st. Goods purchased of 20,000 at 10% credit discount from Vinamgam stores. Now it is within the Gujarat state only. So 2 types of taxes, that is CGST and SGST will be applied over here. And this is a transaction of credit purchase. Okay, so it will be recorded in columnar purchase. So here you can see 2018 August 1st, I have written Vinamgam stores in the column 20,000. So 20,000 minus 2,000 net amount, it would come to 18,000. That will be always after subtracting the trade discount. Next, railway freight, that is given to you 1,000, and invoice number that is given to you 171. Now the total of this two, that is 19,000. On 19,000, see students, make it clear that always you have to find any kind of GST after adding the related expenses also, not on 18,000. You will count the GST, that is CGST and SGST on 18,000 plus 1,000 is equal to 19,000. So on 19,000 you will count 6%, you will get 1,140 and 1,140 in the column of CGST and SGST, in the column of IGST dash. Okay. Now the total of all these four values, it would come to 21,280. Okay. Next one, fifth rate. Goods of rupees 30,000 purchased from Manisha of Varanasi. Now here it is given Varanasi, and bracket it is given to you the name of state, that is UP. So it is with another state. The dealing is done with another state. So here which tax will be applied? That is IGST. Okay. Now railway freight rupees 1,200, labor charges 400, invoice number 204. This transaction is also related to purchase columnar purchase book. So you can see the column of purchase book. I have written 5th date. Then afterwards Manisha's account, that is the name of the supplier or trader to whom we have from whom we have purchased the goods. Next one, inward invoice number, that is given to you 204. The net amount of goods, that is given to you 30,000. Railway freight, that is given to you 1,200, and wages, that is given to you 400. Okay. So the total of all these three amounts, that is 30,000 plus 1,600, it would come to 31,600. On 31,600 you count 12%. Then it would come to 3,792, that is IGST, because this transaction is with another state. So only one tax will be applied, that is IGST of 12%. So on 31,600 it would come, or 12%, it would come to 3,792. So the total of all these four values, it would come to 35,392. Okay. After coming to 5th date, next date, that is 11th date. Goods of 15,000 sold to Dattu Corporation at 10% rate discount, labor charges 600, railway freight 900, invoice number 231. Now this is a transaction of sales book. Okay, we have sold the goods, so it will come in columnar sales book. Okay, so you can see in the books, that is sales book, are written the first transaction, that is of 11th date. We have sold the goods, the name of customer, it would come Dattu Corporation account, bill number, that is given to you 231. Now we have sold the goods of 15,000 at 10% rate discount. So on 15,000 10%, it will come to 1,500. So 15,000 minus 1,500 net amount I will return, that is 13,500. Okay. Next one, it is given to you labor charges, that is 600, and railway freight, that is 900. So railway freight, that is 900, and labor charges, that is wages, is given to you 600. Okay, so 13,500 plus 1,500, it will come to 15,000. On 15,000 you have to count 6% CGST and SGST. So it will come to 900 and 900. Now the total of all these five values, it will come to 16,800. Okay. Next one, we have completed 11th date, now 16th date. Goods purchased from Manisha sold to Arya of Mumbai, that is Maharashtra. Now whatever the goods that we have purchased from Manisha, that is 5th date transaction. Okay, you can see in purchase book 5th date we have purchased the goods from Manisha worth rupees 30,000. Okay, now out of that 30,000 goods which we have purchased from Manisha, we have sold to Arya of Mumbai, that is of Maharashtra, it means outside the state. After adding 20% profit. So on 30,000 you will count 20% profit, and it will come to 6,000. So 30,000 plus 6,000, it will come to 36,000. So whatever the goods which you have purchased from Manisha, that you have sold to Arya at 36,000. Okay, so it will come in which book? That is columnar sales. Okay, here you can see I have written the column of date, that is 16, name of the customer, that is Arya's account, and bill number, that is given to you 232. In the column of net amount, that I have written 36,000 after adding 20% profit. Okay. Next, it has been given to you railway freight and wages has been given to you. Railway freight, that is 1,200, and labor, that is 300. Okay, so 1,200 and 300. Now this is outside the state because it is belonging to Maharashtra, Mumbai. Okay, so we have to count 12% IGST over here. 36,000 plus 1200, it would come to 37,200. 37,200 plus 300, it would come to 37,500. On 37,500, you would come 12%, it would come to 4,500. Okay, so that will come to which column? That is IGST. Now the total of all these four values, it would come to 48,000. Now moving on to 18th day, Alia has returned 50% goods. The proportionate amount of GST, railway freight and labor charges are adjusted. Now previously we had purchased the goods from Manisha that we had sold to Alia. Now out of that goods which we had sold to Alia, as you can see, that is worth rupees 36,000. Alia has returned 50% of the goods back to us. So it is a transaction of sales return. So in the column of sales return book, I have written date, column 18th date, name of the customer, that is Alia's account, half of 36,000, that is 18,000, half of 1200, that would come to 600, half of 300, that would come to 150, and the IGST that we had counted, that was 4,500. So half of 4,500, it would come to 2,250. Okay, and the total of all these four values, it would come to 21,000. Now whatever the goods that we had purchased from Manisha, we had sold to Alia. From Alia, 50% of the goods are returned back to us. Now that 50% of the goods we are returning back to Manisha. Okay, so previously we had purchased the goods from Manisha worth rupees 30,000. Now we are returning half of the goods to Manisha. So it is a transaction of purchase return. Okay, so in the column of purchase return book, you can see Manisha's account, that have returned half of 30,000, 15,000, half of 1200, 600, half of 400, 200, half of 3,792, it would come 1,896, and half of 35,392, it would come to 17,696. So in this transaction, there are two different books. The transaction would be there, one of sales return and another of purchase return. Next, it is 20th date, goods of 30,000 sold to Shresth Corporation. Now here it is a transaction of sales book. So you can see columnar sales book, I have written Shresth Corporation, date, that is 20th date, bill number that is given to you 240. We have sold the goods of rupees 30,000, railway freight that is given to you 600, wages that is 250, and amount of CGST and CGST and SGST, that is total of all these three values, that is 30,850. On 30,850, you will count 6% and 6%. So it will come to 1,851, 1,851. So the total of all these five values, it will come to 34,552. Okay. Next one, after completion of 20th date, moving on to the next transaction, that is 25th date. Furniture of 80,000 purchased from Gandhi Furniture Mart, invoice number 120. Now this transaction is of asset related transaction, so it will not be recorded in goods subsidiary books. Next one, 27. 50% goods returned by Dantu Corporation. Previously we had sold the goods to Dantu Corporation. Out of that goods which we had sold to Dantu Corporation is returning half of the goods. So it is a transaction of sales return. So we have to count half of all this amount. Okay. So in the column on the book of sales, return book, I have written date, that is 27th date. Dantu Corporation, that is the name of the customer from whom we have bought back the goods. Half of 13,500, that would come to 6,750, half of 900, that would come 450, half of 600, that would come 300, and half of CGST and SGST, that would come 450 and 450. Now the total of all this amount, that would come to 8,400. Okay, next one, that is 28th date and 30th date. These two transactions are related to cash purchase and cash sales. So that will not be recorded in goods subsidiary books because we are recording only credit transactions in goods subsidiary books. Okay, so after completing all the transactions, we have to do the total of all the goods subsidiary books. First of all, we'll do the total of columnar purchase book. We have to do the total of all the amounts. Okay, so total credit purchase, it would come net amount total 48,000, railway freight 2,200, wages 400, CGST and SGST same amount 1,140, 1,140, IGST 3,792, and grand total, that is 56,672. Students, verify that the total column vertically and horizontally, that should come equal. Okay, same way doing the total of columnar purchase return book, there is only one transaction for purchase return, so same amount 2,750, CGST and SGST 2,751, IGST that is 4,500, and total amount that is 93,352. Okay. Now the last book, that is columnar sales return book. Total credit sales return, net amount total that would come 24,750. Then afterwards, railway freight 1,050, wages 450, CGST and SGST both will come same, that is 450, IGST that is 2,250, and total that would come 29,400. So students, today we have understood two important sums, that is question number 12 and 13. Do revise it again by referring the video lecture. And today it is the end of this chapter, that is chapter number 6, subsidiary books. In the next video lecture, I'll be starting with a new chapter, that is cash book. Till then, goodbye. Keep practicing. Stay blessed.